Hello and welcome to a Blu-ray update. This is August 2018 and you'll probably hear some background noise because the people outside, they just will not shut up. They're banging around, stuff like that. They're pulling machines off. I don't know what they're doing out there, but you'll probably hear some sort of background disturbance. I apologize for that. But let's get into this two-part Blu-ray update. The first part, which will be this video, is Poundland pickups. This is going to probably become quite a regular occurrence in my Blu-ray updates. The second update will be a classier update, a more kind of boutique-laden update, while we're talking about some Criterion, some Eureka Video, a director box set, anime, and even some film books. So that's the real video to watch out for. This one is just a pile of Poundland dreck. I think I've got 12 titles here, so I'm going to talk about them, show you them, and also kind of go into this recent trend and almost craze in a way of picking up Poundland Blu-rays. More and more Poundland seem to be getting in stock, and I'm not sure what's going on, how they're acquiring it, but there's a lot more interesting titles coming out in Poundland stores. So I'm kind of like on the lookout for specific titles now, going to different Poundlands, trying to seek out what they've got, even going to lengths of taking the boxes off from the top of the shelves to find all the goodies that haven't been put onto the actual main shelves on the shop floor anyway. So I have a bunch here. Some of them I'm really happy with, some of them, oh boy. Okay, so we're going to kick things off with a great film from a few years ago. This is The Guest, and this is sealed. Well, they're all sealed, you know, but I think some of them have been resealed. That is probably a thing. But this one is it's got a slipcover, really nice, and I actually already own this, which I have here ready to show you. I think I showed this in a Blu-ray update back when I lived in Norway, when there was a crazy sale going on in the local store, and I got this version of The Guest for about £1.70, which was incredible to me. It's kind of a slim case, Scandinavian edition, very simple, no special features or anything like that. So I jumped at the chance at getting this great film in a slipcover, but also one that has the special features. We have an audio commentary with the director, Adam Wingard, and also Simon Barrett, who wrote the film. Also a theatrical trailer and 7 deleted scenes with optional commentary. I'll leave that one in for free. No, there's no optical commentary on the 7 deleted scenes, unfortunately. But The Guest, really great thriller. I think that this a film that I had no idea what to expect from, and the twists and turns that it takes are pretty extreme and pretty cartoony at times, and perhaps over the top, but I think it's one that really impressed me, and I really enjoyed Dan Stevens in this role. I think he's a really good actor, and he really has to show some interesting character traits in this one. But there we go, The Guest. Next up is a title I think I showed in my last Blu-ray update, which I also got from Poundland. So I've kind of upgraded this from the regular Blu-ray to the Steelbook. We have The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. Now this was sealed, brand new, completely mint condition. I just took it out to have a look at the Steelbook itself. Couldn't believe it. The first time I've seen the Steelbook in Poundland, and it's a pretty damn good one at that. And I was saying in my last update that, you know, I have the Steelbook for the first Hunger Games movie, and I was thinking of getting all the Steelbooks, but then they've got that one that doesn't have anything on the spine, so I thought, I'll forget the Steelbooks. But for a quid, I'll happily upgrade. Again, as I said before, Catching Fire I think is a great film. Perhaps my favourite of the 4 that they did. Really cool Steelbook. Happy to add it to the collection, I have to say, and it has some nice inside artwork. There's 2 Blu-rays. I think there's like a feature-length 9-part making-of documentary, which I probably talked about before. Just incredible. Really happy to pick this up in a Poundland, and this is easily the steal of the entire bunch, which is why I showed it at the front end of the video. This one I'm actually quite happy about because it's a film that I loved when I was a kid. I was a big fan of this. I think I had it on VHS because I seem to remember watching it over and over again and just loving even little details like the opening credit sequence and kind of watching it over and over again. I think it's also to do with the fact that my uncle made a little home movie based off this film with my cousins, which I loved so much. It was so much fun, and that kind of sparked my love of making my own films. And the year afterwards we made a film together, and that's when and that was 20 years ago now. It's the 20th anniversary of us doing that film together, which you know, began my love of making films. I haven't seen this for so many years, at least 15, I'd say, and it is Men in Black, the original. Is it 1998 or 1996? 1997. I was kind of on either end of the year. Directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. Yeah, really, really fun film. I have never seen the second one, actually. I've only seen the scene from the second one that has the postman who looks like Stephen Merchant, and if you know what I'm referencing there, then good on you, because that's one of my favourite things ever, is that whole Carl Pilkington, Steve, seriously, he could be your brother. Amazing. But I've seen the third one. I have a steelbook for the third Men in Black film, and I loved the third Men in Black. I thought it was a great film. Really, really enjoyed it. So looking forward to getting back to this original one that I haven't seen in so long, and maybe at some point getting the second one and watching them all over again. This has a slipcover, not sure on special features, or deleted scene, director's commentary. I think I might have had the DVD because I'm sure I've listened to some of the commentary for this film. But again, nice slipcover. Really, really happy to pick that one up and add it to the collection. The rest now are kind of stuff that I'm either don't know anything about or I'm not that fussed about, you know, picking up. But again, this is where the bad stuff comes in, because, you know, do you really need to buy some of these titles? And the blunt answer is no, you absolutely do not. And I am becoming a crazy addict. It's a case of just looking at a film going, oh, it's £1, and picking it up when you don't need to pick that film up. You really, really don't. Some of these won't apply to that, but certainly the last two, which I picked up today, they really apply to that. Anyway, let's just carry on. The first one we have in the low priority pile, I guess you could say, Youth in Revolt. Don't know anything about this one, but I really like Michael Cera, I have to say. You know, I know he's not some people's cup of tea, particularly in the recent Twin Peaks: The Return, Wally. But I really like Michael Cera, you know, in most of the roles that I've seen him in. So I'm kind of intrigued to check it out. Seems like a romantic comedy. You got Steve Buscemi in there, Ray Liotta, Justin Long, actors that I really like, and has a bunch of special features, including audio commentary and things like that. Again, with a film I've never seen before, I'm probably never going to listen to the audio commentary, but it's always nice to see that it has that kind of rounded set of supplements. So, Youth in Revolt. Obviously, if you've seen any of these films, let me know what you think of them, including this one, and what you thought of it. This one, I think I mistakenly thought was a Disney film. I thought this was one of the, and maybe it is actually, let me just look at the back. No, it's a Sony Pictures animation. I thought it was one of those kind of weird in-betweeny kind of Disney movies that took place between, where would it be, I guess? In the 2000s, where they were doing stuff like Chicken Little and Meet the Robinsons and Dinosaur, you know, where they hadn't quite found their footing again until they hit stuff like Tangled, and then have really done an incredible kind of run of films. I think really, really good stuff. Wreck-It Ralph, Tangled, great. Frozen, really, really good. And then Moana, which is probably one of my favorite Disney films ever at this point. So, but this is open season. And I am a big fan of animation, so it's one I would like to check out at some point. It's not kind of just a pointless buy, I don't think. And this one has a boatload of special features as well, but I don't know anything about it. Boog, played by Martin Lawrence, is a domesticated grizzly bear with no survival skills. He has his perfect world turned upside down when he meets Elliot, played by Ashton Kutcher, a scrawny, fast-talking mule deer. They join forces to unite the woodland creatures and take the forest back into nature's control. Alright, well, maybe we'll watch this at one point, but yeah, it's certainly not one that I'm really excited about, but I do love animation, and you know, it's just one to stick in the pile, I guess. This one I really enjoyed. Actually, I have seen this film, and I was close to buying a steelbook for it a couple of times, and it is the Arnold Schwarzenegger comeback movie, Last Stand. Although this was named a few different things, I think, around the world. Had a couple of different titles, but this was his kind of comeback movie after he stepped down as the governor of California. He'd done a few things. He did that cameo in the first Expendables movie. And in fact, I'm not sure if this came first or the Expendables 2 when he had a more expanded role. But regardless, this was kind of the first kind of Schwarzenegger starring role movie where he came back. They kind of poke fun at that in this. I love the part where he's like, "How do you feel?" "Old." and it's a decent film. I quite enjoyed it. There's a lot of fun towards the third act, you know, and I really love Arnold Schwarzenegger, so definitely wanted to add in the collection, and I'm quite happy about getting that one, actually. Actually, this one too, I have seen and really liked. This came out in 2011, or maybe 2012, actually. Yeah, 2012. Ah, I didn't even realize that, what's her name? Toni Collette was in this. It's been so long since I've seen this one. It is Fright Night. This is the 2012 remake of the 80s classic, which I saw way after I saw this one, so I kind of saw them out of order, but I loved this film. I really, really enjoyed it. I love the David Tennant character. I know that fans of the original Fright Night probably don't look too favorably on this one because it's redoing the same story they know and love. But to me, I'd never seen it, so I came into this completely fresh, and I really, really enjoyed this. It's a really good horror film with a lot of comedy mixed in there too, and just really, really enjoyable. So I definitely I jumped at that one when I saw it. I was like, yes, I'd love to own that for £1. Definitely one to grab. This one, I believe, is directed by George Clooney. And I actually don't know anything about this one either. I don't know. It is a true story. The true story of the greatest treasure hunt in history. Thrilling action and priceless performances from an all-star ensemble cast. The cast is a big part of me picking this up. You got George Clooney, of course, Matt Damon, Bill Murray, John Goodman, Cate Blanchett. Fantastic cast. Don't know anything about it. It is The Monuments Men. So once again, if you've seen it, have any thoughts on it, please let me know in the comments down below. But purely based on Bill Murray, this was a good enough reason to pick this up. But yeah. Ooh, this is we'll leave this one with the other two, I think. Okay, so we'll jump ahead and I'll show you this one. Taken 2. Yeah, I've never seen any of the Taken sequels, but I'm a big fan of the Liam Neeson old man action cycle. You know, films like Taken, films like Non-Stop, even The Commuter I really, really enjoyed. The Grey, there's another one he did as well with Ed Harris that I haven't seen yet. But I haven't seen Taken 2 or Taken 3. I'm sure that they're nowhere near as good as the first one, which I saw in the cinema and really enjoyed when it first came out. I know a lot of people poke fun at the two sequels, so I'm not sure which of the two is supposed to be really terrible, but this is one that I don't know anything about. I'm not even going to look into it because I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm game, I'm on board to check out you know, the sequel and see where they take the characters, because I don't know anything about Taken 2 or 3 really. And this has an alternate ending exclusive to the Blu-ray, an extended, harder cut, and the original cinema cut. Okay, so I don't know what the extended, harder cut is. I'm assuming it just has a bit more violence. So there we go, Taken 2. Again, if you've seen it, thoughts down below. Right, now we have the 3 that really make me question my sanity. We'll just jump right into it. We'll peel the band-aid off together. 3, 2, 1, Central Intelligence. And this one has the extended and original version, which is so exciting to get to see the extended version. Like, let's actually see, right, so the main feature runtime is 1:47, the extended runtime is almost 2 hours, and there's 1 hour and 21 minutes of bonus features. Now, I'm sure that the kind of, the outtakes are going to be really entertaining on this. I have to say, I'm a big fan of The Rock, from wrestling, of course, but I think that he's carved out quite a great career for himself as a leading action star over the past 20 years now. I think he's been doing movies for 20 years. When was it he did The Mummy Returns? Anyway, he's put his graft in to kind of molding himself into what he is today, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, box office drawing actor around right now. And Kevin Hart, not a fan. Don't dislike him, don't have anything against him, but just not really a fan of him. Jumanji, the sequel they did last year, no interest in seeing that whatsoever. I just didn't want to see it. I thought, how can you even do that? You know, I was really almost offended by that, and I try not to get offended by these kind of remakes and reboots. And then I got roped into watching it, and I really enjoyed it. You know, nothing on the original Jumanji movie, but really, really fun. Didn't take itself too seriously, and I really liked the interactions between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart. So I figured I'd actually check out a film that has them starring together, you know, for the whole movie, not just, you know, throughout a certain part of it. So I might actually check this out. When I say I'm gonna check this out. Hopefully it's not as dog shit awful as Baywatch was, because that was terrible. You know, if that's kind of a taster of what's to come with this, then this is going right in the bin afterwards. But I thought I would take a shot at it, because I did. Despite myself, I did actually quite enjoy those two together in Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, or whatever they called it. Right, now here are the final 2 Blu-rays, the 2 I picked up today, and I just can't believe myself. I really am ashamed. In fact, that weird noise you might be hearing outside is probably just the world telling me how stupid I am for picking up these 2 Blu-rays. So I went to a new store today just to see what they had. They only had 2 there, and I bought them both. And I don't know why. It's a sickness, it's a disease. Please send help. Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason. Same Bridget, but brand new diary. Oh yeah, brand new diary. It's got an audio commentary, some deleted scenes, a lot of featurettes, a lot of interviews, a making of, and yeah, Bridget Jones. Moving on, we have the last one, which is a film that I didn't even really enjoy that much, and it's the Angry Birds movie. The Angry Birds movie. Gets to a point where they literally just take an app and just add the movie at the end of it. Has some hatchlings shorts, and a bonus scene, Chuck's Rescue, which I'm really looking forward to. And they even have a photo gallery on this one. Yeah. See, it's a great cast in this one. You have, you know, Jason Sudeikis, you have Josh Gad, Danny McBride, who I love, Maya Rudolph, Kate McKinnon, Sean Penn, Bill Hader, Peter Dinklage, and it was just okay, you know. I don't know why I bought it. You know, like the kind of reasoning in my warped kind of psychotic mind is, well, one day we're going to have kids and it'll be great for them to have an entire selection of kids movies to choose from. When really I know deep down, I saw a Blu-ray, it was £1, and I thought I want to pick it up because it's a Blu-ray for £1. And I'm a fucking idiot. But it does have the digital download code, which I'll hopefully be able to sell, and then I won't have paid anything for this, but then I don't know why I'd even want to take this for free. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and that was my Poundland Pickups Blu-ray update. If you're suffering from the same Poundland-itis as I am, I sympathize with you, I hope you get help. If you do, please try and help me as well. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next update video, which again will be a lot more classy than this one, a lot of cool stuff to show and talk about, and I'll see you in that one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.